Gino, look what happened. The fat guy's fired. Kevin Kelly's fired. It's been kind of hard to follow. Like, I feel like I'm still missing tweets. If you guys have the ones where he said the N-word, please post them. Because I don't know what the problem is. Gino, this seems to be a situation where Kevin Kelly had a conservative opinion, and now he's just blackballed for it. That's all I can seem to see. Unless there's this hidden tweet where he said, "F it," maybe? Is there an uncovered "F it" from 2011 that he tweeted? Even then, I wouldn't agree with him being fired, but it'd be something. So, Gino, here's what I have so far. Let's look at it. So there was a rant, they say. This is what I've been in the search of, the rant. Is there a deleted rant? Because I keep seeing that there was a rant. Unhinged is one of the terms I saw. Look, right here. Kevin Kelly goes on an unhinged rant. And it's like, wow, I got to see this. N-word, F-word. After being replaced on AEW commentary. And the only thing that comes to a little bit of controversy that I can find is this, right? Is he likes the movie Sound of Freedom, which was, I mean, Dana White, what, didn't he pay for his whole company to see it? His whole company had free tickets? We're not allowed to be against child trafficking now? Is that what's happening? So look at this. This Kevin Kelly tweet said, "When you go out of your way to intentionally mischaracterize my raising awareness of the global horrors of child trafficking to a fringe conspiracy theory that everyone knows is bullshit in order to hurt my career in standing, that at the very least is libelous." So wait, what's the conspiracy theory that's being likened to? If he's saying Comet Pizza is a legit pizza place, fuck him then. He doesn't know what side he's on. Maybe we just scroll to the top and read our way down. He was fired for no reason. That's all we can tell. All right. So here's a tweet Kevin Kelly did. He quoted a guy named Dan G. Dan G said, "I have always appreciated the links you go to give a history and background of a match." He's complimenting him, right? Kevin Kelly said, "I do the same thing in AEW because it's critical to explain the why. But the idea of what I bring to the table is lost there." Here we go. We found it. This is it, Gino. Look, it's not deleted. "But the idea of what I bring to the table is lost in AEW because Ian libeled me." Here's more. This is more context. He says, "So I sit on the bench, valued by my peers," meaning not by my boss. "Valued by my peers. They know how good I am. My boss is a retard," this is saying. "Waiting to get my number called because I'm a backup QB, like Tony Khan said about Miro, one of the best in the world." Gino, this is the tweet, huh? This is too far.
There's a little bit more. I did read into it myself because I was curious. Because I was just like you, I was lost. I was like, okay, where does this go? Where is the confusion? Why was he fired? Was it just because of the conspiracy with Q and him assigning with that, agreeing with Q? So that's why Tony Khan's like, no, we gotta just get him sidelined, get him out of there, have Tony take his place. And that'd be dumb if that's the reason, but that's the only context I'm getting is just his belief in Q is why Tony Khan decided to fire him.
So that's the fringe conspiracy he's referencing, or the... Let's read that other tweet now. Now that we know he's talking about Q. A fringe conspiracy theory that everyone knows is bullshit. He can't be talking about Q because Q ain't bullshit. Q's Trump. I was there when we as a 4chan, put it all together. There was... there was metadata to the photo that Q posted. It was a picture from Air Force One, we found out, after punching up the numbers. It's not bullshit. But Kevin Kelly's just saying this, I guess. Look, he's dismissing it as bullshit here. This is probably him trying to save a job. But what's weird, is this all happened a week ago. All of this is on the 2nd. What happened between then and 4 days later? Nothing? And just the committee had to look at it. Daniel Bryan was thinking during those days. Daniel Bryan had it on his desk, but he had so much to get to that it was bottom of the pile. Kevin Kelly also replies and says, "I keep asking why, but I get pushed aside. It's okay, because there is no one better than me." Kevin Kelly, what's he ever been good at? Having The Rock put a T-shirt over his face as he does the promo with or without him there? Kevin Kelly's never really been needed for anything. How does he still have a job?
Well, I mean, now he doesn't have a job with
Can
Japanese.
you believe he's saying this? Gino, this is your fault, Not that he's fired. He's fired because he's a Nazi who would vote for Trump, like Tom Brady. No, he's fired, Gino, because he thinks he's good. Look, there's no one better than me. He can't think that. Does anyone here think that? We got to start weeding these people out. No one here likes Kevin Kelly, right? Just out yourself now. Make a case for him on your way out. We want to know how you think this. Ask the ones that know, he says, and they'll tell you. Yeah, who are they? I haven't found them yet. Maven? Should I send in a question to Maven's YouTube channel? He must know. So, Kevin Kelly, not a pedophile. Everyone else, pedophile. Specifically, Ian Riccaboni. So, this great reply, though. This guy calls him a washed-up right-wing conspiracy theorist. And then Kevin Kelly goes, washed up? How dare you? So, get it? Like, he's like, yeah, I'm that other stuff. That was funny. So then this other guy replies, that's what the AEW cult does. Once you leave, they turn on you. Now, in our defense, we did boo Cody before he left. So, we hated him pretty early on. He didn't have to leave for us to hate him. So, Kevin Kelly says, that's what Ian Riccaboni did to me. Can't wait for all of it to come out in court. How exciting is this? So he's going to court. That's awesome. This guy's taking legal action against that cult, Gino.
He is. He's taking legal action. He does have 2 lawyers. He did have like a later tweet that he also tagged Jim Cornette because he has Stephen P. New on his side. So he's going to win and get rid of this AEW bullshit. He's going to be free.
According to Ringside News, it should also say, as soon as my lawyer gets going, 2 of them actually, lawyers. I never had a lawyer before, let alone 2 at the Jim Cornette. So that means he's got Stephen P. New. That's pretty awesome. We love that guy, right? We're in love with the handbook. Oh, here's links to the tweets. Okay. So his lawyers, that's after someone said, when is this happening? The story has intrigued me. So, Gino, we're in the thick of it. We're only in the 3rd inning here. I thought this was going to be over. So we'll be following this closely. If Stephen P. New's involved, it's the first case against AEW that has my attention, Gino. The other one seemed frivolous. I still don't really understand what's happening. I just know there's people who support a pedophile movie publicly, and I'll never know why. I definitely understand Kevin Kelly's stance. Pedophiles are bad. Protect the kids. It's the people against that still confuse me. But look at this. Kevin Kelly's a fat fuck. Wait till you see what he looks like. Wrestling Observer tweeted out a quote from Kevin Kelly where he said, I wouldn't treat my worst enemy how AEW treated me. And you know what's great? We have the context of that. There's this fatty. Look. So we have to watch this as an embed on Ringside News because I don't have Facebook anymore. But this is a signing Kevin Kelly did. And he's going to talk about what happened with Ian Riccaboni. So, Gino, we knew some of it, but we wanted more details. I haven't watched or read this yet, but, I mean, if you look at it, it's literally paragraphs. Look at this. So we better get some information here. Look, it just keeps going. This is hip. Look at this. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. What are the chances we're going to make it through all that? We'll see. I'm not reading it, but we'll hear him say it. There's his big fat gut. He might die before his speech ends. So he finally dishes on this situation. So he liked that child trafficking movie, the one because he hates child trafficking. Ian Riccaboni said, you're a Nazi for it. And then Kevin Kelly said Ian Riccaboni buried him to Tony Khan. And we all know Tony Khan's a f***it. So, of course, he's going to be like, what, Ian? Kevin Kelly doesn't want me to traffic kids anymore? Oh, he's off TV. So that's the side we got. Also, the last we heard is Kevin Kelly was going to sue AEW. So let's see if he elaborates on any of that in this clip.
You went to work for AEW.
Yep.
Oh, he's bald, too. Did you see that bald spot?
Started with them. You were not there very long, about 6 months.
Look at that, Gino. That looks familiar.
And you were, from what the reports were, you were let go due to a situation with Ian Riccaboni where...
Oh, and I'm sure everyone's going, who's Ian Riccaboni? I don't know. No one knows. He's apparently another Kevin Kelly. Some guy who was inspired by Kevin Kelly and Kevin Kelly's success to become a new Kevin Kelly. And he's doing commentary for something somewhere. No one knows.
I may have this backwards or wrong. That's why you're here to tell us that he was
Yay! Sorry.
plotting against you or something to that effect.
Sure felt like it.
Okay. So now you have a history
Don't worry, Kevin. We're going to hire you at our event WrestleMania weekend. Mersh, Royce, Gino, Danny Saint, and I. We're hiring all the Nazis.
in a bit because, of course, you were the
Now, you're not getting paid, but you can work.
play-by-play guy for Ring of Honor.
Right.
And then Ian Riccaboni, I think, came after you.
Yeah, because I got him a job.
I don't know. Did Kevin Kelly always look like this, Gino? Because look, in this other photo, does the suit just hide his gut? These T-shirts aren't very flattering for you people, Gino. Look at that.
It's just what we've accepted. We know like we're not as flattered, but it's because we don't need to be. We just are enjoy our lives and appreciative of our lives because Lizzo helps us feel appreciated by our bodies and love our body.
Lizzo died.
Got him the job there.
And we were friends.
Okay. And then with AEW, Ring of Honor's out. Ian Riccaboni gets a job. You get a job. What exactly, as much as you can tell us, what is the story? What's your relationship with him? How did it sour? Whatever you want to say.
It still makes no sense, okay? Because Ian Riccaboni, I met him first at the Monster Factory. Bob Evans said to me, Brutal Bob Evans, who had been doing a lot of training with the Monster Factory crew, said, you need to meet Ian because he's really good and he's special and he should get a look for Ring of Honor. So I went there, did a seminar, met him, and was like, oh my gosh, yes. Let's see how you do. Come on with me. We'll start having you come to like local, so anything in the Northeast. And he made some long drives and did it the right way. And it was like, okay, he called the dark matches. He would call, then it was like he could do Women of Honor, so it would be unique, different branding.
Ew.
But and we got along great. And we worked together on some shows. Everything was fine. When Joey Mercury left, I found out that Ian was kind of, as Dennis Corluzzo used to say, putting the mouth on me. Ian was in the office.
When you left
Yeah, after I was gone.
from Ring of Honor.
Because I went
Putting
to
the mouth on him.
I was like, all right.
Like Rhea
And
and
I talked to
Ricardio.
people about it, and I was like, I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, whatever. But then I'm doing this AEW thing, and Tony Khan told me I first wanted Ian Riccaboni to do Collision, but he couldn't because of his day job. Okay, so Ian recommended me. Great, cool. I go away and it was all, they knew this, I go away to do the G1, I'm gone 5 weeks, I come back and it's like, Ian's hammering me on Discord and this New Japan message board about like, I did all these different things to him over the years, which I never
Is he going to bring up the movie or what?
knew. I had no
It's a political fracture in their relationship. We know that. We know Ian Riccaboni is a vaxxed retard, and you're not. It's that simple. That's what it is. It's divided the country. It's no surprise to anyone it would divide you and an acquaintance. And by the way, of course, you're the nice guy who gets this guy into the business, and then he's the entitled liberal who's going to turn on you. It's no shocker here. Just tell us.
clue. And then to top it all off, he accuses me of like being some QAnon conspiracy theorist
There
for
it is.
supporting a movie that was against child trafficking.
There we go.
That's neat.
See, that's not some aside. That's the main thing. So he's like, oh, and that's neither here nor there. No, that's here and there. That's the whole story. You're acting befuddled and then bringing up his problem. I know it's hard to believe these people are so simple and retarded, Kevin, but they are. This is how the Ian Riccabonis and Genos are. You literally have to knock on their head as you teach them things, or they won't pay attention. They won't retain the information. He is that stupid that you being against child trafficking made you evil to him.
Neither here nor there. The part that bothers me so much is that I thought we were friends.
See, and here's the problem. He can't really emphasize that because now he thinks he'll lose work. He's worried other employers are as crazy as Ian Riccaboni, and they are. He is right to be afraid of this. You can get blackballed in entertainment for not wanting children to be trafficked.
And if he would have called me,
You have to worship the retarded president we're stuck with and act like he's of full mental health to keep a job.
we could have talked about it. Hey, Kevin, listen, you're really pissing me off. And even if we would have agreed to never be friends before, if he would have just called me up and said, F you, I hate you, I never want to see you again, at least I would know where I stood. And then I could work towards
That's not what they do. They're not confrontational. They avoid it and they talk shit on social media.
fixing what I had done wrong. But instead, the way that he went about it painted me with a.
JC Rumble says the screenwriter confirmed he did that movie before QAnon existed. I don't think so. I think QAnon. I don't know why QAnon's a bad word. Q is real. It's Donald Trump. It was pictures from Air Force One to prove it. He predicted things. If you put together the OPS ID and the date of the post, it all equates. It's an equation that equals reality. Okay, so you can look it up. If you didn't, you can just be dumb like Gino and think, oh, QAnon, that's crazy stuff. Or you can look into it and realize it's all real, it's all true, and it foreshadowed all of this. And it's been right the entire fucking time. So it's not like that QAnon's some conspiracy theory crazy thing, because we've all learned everything that has conspiracy related to it is just the truth.
A nasty brush, and it was done on purpose so that the fans.
I was there for Q's first post. I'm sure you weren't. Yeah, I read the first post. I was there from the start.
Would turn against me.
Me and Roseanne.
Because he did it in a New Japan Discord
And
board.
Kevin Kelly.
You know what I mean? And people were messaging me that I'm friends with.
By the way, how exciting, Gino. Discord drama? I thought only we did that.
And we did like have screenshots, and I was like, "This can't be real." These whole Discord screenshots we have from them, I was like, "That's not real. That can't really be Kevin Kelly and Ian Riccaboni." I was like, now he's talking about like this actually was legitimate fucking beef and real fucking screenshots from their Discord they were talking.
I'm telling you, they're living our life. He's you. Look at him.
Because I go there all the time. That's how I found out about it. I woke jet lag post G1. I wake up and I say, oh, let's see what they're saying about us. Hey, wait a minute. What the hell? And people were like, people that I'm friendly with in there were like, what is Ian doing? Why is he doing this? I have no idea. So I message him. And it's like, hey, what's going on? Well, you said and did a bunch of different things to me over the years, and I'm pissed off about it. Okay, but, well, let's talk about it. Well, I'll only talk to you if you guarantee that you're not going to record the call. I'm like,
what the fuck?
I wouldn't know how to record a call off a cell phone. What are you,
See, I wish I did when I called that pizza guy a nigger. That would have been so funny to hear back.
crazy?
I go, put the manager on. I am the manager. Oh, okay. Sure you are.
Yeah, sure. We need to talk about this. And we never did. And then things started
You wouldn't have been a manager when I worked there, that's for sure.
to change within AEW.
No niggers were passing me in that company.
And it was almost like hand in glove. It was never a good fit, me being there. I came from New Japan where I was left alone. And I knew what I was doing.
Well, that feels like the AEW system. Aren't people just left alone? Figure out your promo. Sink or swim. Get forgotten or show up.
And I was calling
Ricky Starks is pretty left alone right now, isn't he?
matches that were just like AEW. And all of a sudden now I've got all these people in my ear and I've got all this format stuff. And it's like, why do we have to do things the
Damn, this sounds like WWE.
same way Dynamite is? This is what I said. Why do
Whoa, what the fuck? Don't say that. Uh-oh. Don't talk back. But yeah, this sounds like it's great. All the recent AEW issues are very much 2019 and before WWE issues.
we have to be the same show? Don't we want Collision to be different? Isn't this a different thing?
Another thing he says in this interview is the reason he was on Collision is because CM Punk didn't want Excalibur on Collision. And it's weird how much power CM Punk really had, sending Dolph Ziggler's brother home for a tweet and Christopher Daniels kicking him out. It was his show. He was even picking the commentators, and he didn't want the great future Hall of Famer, Excalibur. He picked this fat fuck instead.
Whether it was split because of CM Punk and the Bucks, I have no idea. That was never even brought up.
So Punk was an EVP of this show.
But it was a separate show Saturday night. Great. Let's make it different. Let's do some different things.
SmackDown
And-
had a huge difference from Raw.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Did it? I missed that. You know, it was different than Raw and Nitro. I lived it. So once we had a fake brand split, there was nothing different. It was WWE on Monday. It was red. WWE on Friday was blue. That's not different. It was the same shit.
Well,
Yeah, see, Kevin Kelly's not going to let you get away with that. Kevin Kelly's actually worked in different places.
I mean,
Yeah.
They wanted to.
everything
Yeah, Mark, shut up. I'm talking. I'm Kevin Kelly.
looked different in the beginning.
yes, looked different.
Then it
They
kind
said,
of-
yeah, and it morphs into.
Not really, though. And it didn't look different. It looked more different when it wasn't a brand split, when SmackDown had the awesome circle stage. And you could take that fist stage and shove it up your ass, Mark.
They did try to make it look different. But again, why can't we as announcers be different? Because I'm different than Taz and Excalibur
Yeah,
and
you're Jim Ross.
Giovanni. And it just the handwriting was on the wall that it wasn't going to work. And I was getting more and more pissed off. And I talked to the...
He's incriminating himself here. I liked the idea that he was just an innocent fat fuck with this gut. And everything went against him. Now he's trying to take too much responsibility for being annoyed himself.
AEW office about it. I talked to them.
Oh, no. You Jonathan Gresham? You don't do that. They don't want to hear you complain. I thought it might be okay to do privately, right? You can't tweet about it, that's for sure. Lance Archer taught us, if you tweet you're disgruntled, you'll be gone. You'll be paid, but gone. I thought you could at least go to somebody and speak your mind. Apparently not.
And I told him that I was mentally getting
Yay!
really in a bad spot over this, too. And I vented.
The guy worked there like 2 weeks. What is he complaining about?
And when I vented, that's when they let me go.
Oh, he did, Jonathan Gresham. He vented. He yelled at poor Tony, and Tony has a demeanor of service.
So, it, again, no harm, no foul with AEW. No. Big blame there. But I always wanted to straighten things out with Ian. I feel terrible that he was mad at me over something.
So now Ian makes a little more sense, right? Ian's a company guy. He's a sheep. He's a tool. He's obviously a libtard idiot. We know how he voted. So he's over here like, okay, I don't like that guy because I'm on this company side. Now, on top of that, we're politically opposite. Then I'll attack him for that, too. He had the green light to go at you now.
Something never told me. And it led to
Still
a bunch of different problems.
So to this day, you're not even sure what Ian's talking about, what you did to him, or what he thinks you did?
Oh, one incident
Yeah,
in
here we
particular.
go.
He did
One incident. What's new? What's next? You ate his Wendy's?
spell out for me.
Okay.
And I did say it to him. I meant it like in a
I call them a fucking okay?
I won't go into
I meant it in a playful way.
it, but I didn't really get the chance to like explain it, but I understand how it could be taken the wrong way. And the other thing that he said
What
was
did you say?
that I knocked him for wearing a hat on Collision, which I did, a cowboy
Yeah.
hat, because he's sitting right next to Jim Ross.
Yeah.
Because they're in Calgary, the Stampede.
All right. Okay, so Kevin Kelly's unbearable to work with, basically. He thinks he's your boss when he's not, just because he's old and fat. Meanwhile, Jim Ross doesn't give a fuck. You're sitting next to Jim Ross in a cowboy hat, and Jim Ross has no complaints, but this guy does? Okay. Yeah, fuck this guy.
And I was like saying it because
You're a QAnon conspiracy psycho. You're a kid touching yourself.
guess what? You're going to get heat with JR if you're wearing a cowboy hat sitting next to him at the announce desk. Whether he says it's okay or not, that doesn't matter. And I'm like,
And you've known Jim for 30 years.
yeah. And,
So you know
and
Jim.
it was born in Calgary. It was born at the Stampede. And he's the one who wears the fucking cowboy hat. Why would you do that?
Listen, I'll say this.
Whatever. If he listen,
Yeah,
he
whatever
got
now.
upset about that. Give me a break.
This is a Jim Ross signed cowboy hat.
People could buy that.
I ain't never seen somebody go, listen, I like Ian. I've never had a problem
Who
with
is
him.
this guy? Is
But-
that Andy Worski? What the fuck is that speech impediment? Remember this? Oh, this song was the best. The fuck? God, Vince McMahon was a genius.
Never seen somebody come up to you and
What happened?
have a cowboy hat.
No.
Jim, I've seen it.
Of course. This is special. He's amazing. But anyway, that's the story.
That's the
So
story.
that's the Ian part. As far as AEW, do you have some ill feelings towards them for the way they got rid of you as
Here
well?
we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Wouldn't treat any other human. I wouldn't treat my worst enemy like that.
Who were you told
Oh.
that you were let go?
What?
Was it Tony?
No, Mike Mansory, the executive producer. And the
Look, I wouldn't treat my worst enemy like that. What, getting paid and then not? What are you talking about?
new vice president of human resources, who I had never met and spoke to ever before.
And they based it around your venting?
I knocked the company on Twitter and vented on a voicemail to the HR lady that I had been working with. Problem was, I never knew where, like, I brought up this whole thing with Ian, and they said, yes, good, thank you for bringing it up.
I don't think you have a legal case here anymore.
what's going to happen? I said, what's the process? Well, we'll discuss it. We'll let you know. And apparently the disciplinary committee got together and made a decision.
Daniel Bryan.
Okay, what was the decision? Well, we can't tell you because it's private. Wait a minute. I was the one who was the victim here. I need to know, like, what
The victim.
happened so that I could put this to bed in my mind.
You
Well,
call
we
them a
just
nigger.
tell you. Okay, this is very upsetting for me. You have to understand this. We really don't understand. We don't care. So, whatever.
Oh my God! So this guy went to human resources and wanted help from them. You're a man. You don't do that. You just get over it, and you never go to human resources. I'm sure, as a guy, you expect them to come to you every now and then for something you did, and then you just fake your way through it. You smile and nod. I'll never say that anymore. But you don't go to them, and you don't expect results. What are you talking about? Human resources isn't real. It's a way to get you in trouble and fired. That's it. If you go to them, you're just going to get yourself in trouble.
Wow. And
Fucking crazy.
just one last question. What was, because obviously you did it publicly, what was the general tone of the complaints that you made?
I'll never talk about regrowing my foreskin again. You're right. That was inappropriate at work. I'm sorry.
Publicly.
And then you go to work the next day and go, I bought these little weights for my dick, and I'm going to grow my foreskin back, and I'm going to show the Jew they can't cut it off.
Twitter about AEW or wherever you posted it.
What do you mean?
Well, you said that you publicly
Commented.
commentated.
Comment on what I've just talked about here.
Okay.
That there was a
Nothing. Oh, go ahead.
that there was a quid pro quo relationship between what happened, what Ian said, and me getting demoted.
Okay. But it wasn't so much about the actual current AEW product.
How do you get demoted from Collision? Would you go to Rampage?
Or
No,
if
I
it was
didn't
good.
knock the product at all.
Okay.
No. I just aired.
Fuck.
You aired the grievances that you had.
Yeah.
Which they didn't probably like, and
No, it was
that's
the airing of grievances. I would never knock the product because, again, that show's not made for me.
yeah.
That show's made for a much younger person.
What?
And it's a different taste, different flavor of
Whoa.
ice cream. If you like it, you
This guy hates AEW? So wasn't he just saying NJPW is the same shit?
like it. I have tremendous respect for all the athletes there. My God, why would I ever knock the product like that?
Yeah.
The Danielson Disciplinary Committee just claimed another victim the other day. In Soraya.
Oh, did she get?
Soraya said something online, and her match with Mariah May got scrapped without comment. And then she said something else.
I heard something. Gino, is that real? So I saw Ringside News was putting articles up like more details on why Soraya's match was cut. I thought it had something to do with Mercedes Moné, but I never looked into it.
What people have said it was about like that Mercedes Moné's time, like she took too much fucking time either from the match or from the promo. But I do feel like it had to be something more than just she fucking went past her fucking time. It had to be something more that got scrapped and they got put on for this week because they had like why else would they do it without like it seems like there had to be some personal fucking vendetta, not just be like cutting time, because they could have easily like cut fucking time from other matches, and not if they really fucking cared, because they should care about Saraya and Mariah May. More
So
than
do you
this
think
fucking
it
other
was
shit
her
they had.
tweet where she was disappearing in the photo, or did she tweet that after?
I think she tweeted that one after, even though they were then setting up the match for the week after, because so they were still showing they could still see her, but she still feels fucking like a barricade princess. They don't really fucking see her as a star like they fucking
I do
should
remember
still.
on Discord, I think it was Huge Ass, or somebody, or Charlie posted a picture. I want this, and it was Saraya Mariah May. I'm like, that would have been kind of cool, but I guess hey, at least there's no overrun for it. But so, what did she do to be disciplined for then, if not the picture that she tweeted?
It had to be like something from beforehand that she must have tweeted out from like displeasure that the match either was gonna cut or like she was setting up for the match and then they just didn't fucking have it, so she probably got upset like that day of. Or like as soon as they got found out because of us now knowing how Tony Khan is a lot like Vince, where no one knows what the fuck they're doing till an hour before the show that you're going to be on the show. And then like, during the show, boop, you're cut now. We don't have time for you. You got to move on. You're going to do this next week. Next week, we're going to have your match now.
Well, it feels realistic. If it's on the next week, then it just got cut. Was it this week? I don't remember it. But so there was something with Tony Storm tonight and Maria May. But if she was in trouble, they wouldn't rebook it, you would think. She would have a little more time than a week to think about it.
And
No idea.
Sorry.
But we talked about it, that he recommended that Tony use me. And what Tony Khan said to me, and again, I had a job.
We're never going to care what Kevin Kelly says ever again.
And I was getting burned out. And I had no problem.
Burned
being able to
out?
get out.
I don't remember him calling more than 2 weeks of the show. He took like a month off for NJPW. He gets burned out? How?
Out of it. And they were happy to let me go because they were hemorrhaging money. They're losing money. So
Whoa, I don't. Did we rewind or fast forward? I don't remember him saying that.
that's the reason why it was like, okay, we'll let go of Kevin's big contract and then
Big
we can
contract.
just go do AEW.
What?
It's we don't have to pay him anymore.
So, last question about this: when they finally did say that they were letting you go, how? What was your mindset during that time?
I think I went forward. Who cares?
Because you weren't getting any kind of answer from them that would satisfy you. You had this whole thing with Ian over the shoulder over it.
Well, it's a really
And now you're at the position, tell me if I'm wrong on this, but you were, I don't know what you do and other things, but were you pretty much at that point unemployed, where you had to figure out where you're going to go next?
of course.
Okay.
My mental health was not good. From when this
Again, you're a man. You don't say that. You don't feel that way. It's not real. Mental health and human resources, these are female things.
began,
Okay?
and it was taking a toll on my marriage, on my family, on me
If we never let women in the workplace, none of this stuff would have ever come up ever.
personally, physically, mentally. And I mean, it's really nobody's business, but my mental health was not good. It's better now, thank God.
Good.
What the fuck does mental health even mean anymore, Gino? I thought it was like, hey, don't let that person buy a gun. He has mental health issues. What about that? He's not using it the same way. What, should he be able to buy a gun after saying that?
Again, now that it's better, I think you can, because again, mental health does affect you. You get into a very
No, it doesn't.
depressed, like anxious state where you would like possibly go to a breaking point, and fucking kill people, kill yourself, kill everybody,
No,
because
that's
you just
not
don't
it.
care
No.
anymore.
That's not it. Mental health related to owning a weapon has nothing to do with sad or happy. It's like you're supposed to be a fucking retard in your head. It's like diagnosable conditions, not the fake ones, not like ADHD or something like that. Like it's supposed to be like retard, like mental hospital shit. That's supposed to be mental health. Not I got fired and I'm sad about it. Not I had a breakup. None of those are legal reasons to stop you from owning a weapon and defending yourself. But you wouldn't know that. But you're the guy I got to go to ask because you're the only faggot who believes in this shit.
And because I've gotten some help. I've gotten
Oh
fixed.
my God,
Well,
how
working on
fixed?
being
What the
fixed.
fuck is he talking about?
As we all can be. But
Just Insane says it's just a buzzword nowadays. It always was. That's what I've been, from the start, I've been asking this question. There's never been an answer to that question of what is mental health? What's a mental health problem? No one can just tell you. It's literally just turned into, I am kind of upset. So there's no actual mental health issues.
for a company
It's a faggot and a pussy. That's it. You're a pussy.
that cares so much about their athletes and
I've lost 2 fucking families. I lost everything I ever had. I'm walking around, mental health is low. Tough shit. Do something about it or don't. Don't tell me about it.
people in know, and
Yes.
we have a and I booked an appointment with the psychiatrist, and I got all the
What a homo you are.
just, like, ranting and raving with the
You ever seen Matrix Resurrection? Therapists and psychiatrists are a lie. They're the machine. What the fuck?
poor guy, David Weiss, and I set up an appointment with him on Thursday because we were taping TV that next
I don't need a therapist shortcut into my own mind. I'll handle it. I'll figure it out.
day, and then they
You just want my money.
fired me
And you charge way too fucking much.
on Wednesday. So, you guys really care about the people that you employ. So, yeah, it wasn't about Ian at that point.
This guy's a problem. Don't hire this guy. And we knew that back in the 90s. He was terrible. He's never good. But he became like the American voice of New Japan. So he gained respect in the States from that. Where it's like, well, no one else is calling it that speaks English. Jim Ross did for a while, and that got my attention, but I never watched him call it once. And then Kevin Kelly was like the voice of it for us Americans. And beyond that, it was like, oh, I remember he sucked, and he was like a worse Michael Cole. A way worse Jim Ross. Like, he has that same type of thin voice. He has nothing to offer
Anymore.
except problems. Look at this.
But I did kind of like
And he's a QAnon conspiracy theorist.
lump him in all of it. But now it's like I'm trying to process it, and I'm trying to be. So forgiving him is easy. Forgiving him is.
Don't forgive him. He's a libtard idiot. That's why I'm losing respect. He's acting like, oh, you can make fun of me for liking that movie all you want. No, he can't. You shouldn't let that happen. Don't forgive him for that, because he's not going to change, and you shouldn't. Don't budge for people like that.
It's already done, as far as I'm concerned. You know.
Yeah.
And we don't want you on our side if you're going to change for this. If you're all of a sudden going to denounce our political beliefs for a guy like Ian Riccaboni and his side, fuck you then. Go to their side.
But
Go hang out with Dewey Foley.
again, you cannot do something like that. It happened with to a much greater extent. I'm not.
Does anyone stand up for their own values anymore? Even when it's like, I don't want kids to get kidnapped. People won't even stand up for that.
comparing myself to it at all, but to Hana Kimura. Okay?
Yeah.
The other side, the Ian Riccaboni thinks it's all fantasy. They think it's not happening. They're living in their little Today Show world, their Good Morning America world, where everything's just a cup of coffee to get you through the day. And there's nothing bad happening under my city. There's no tunnels.
Oh my
Look at
goodness,
this.
yes, absolutely.
Because when you bring down the force of social media onto a person wrongly accusing someone,
Kayla Braxton, pay attention.
there are consequences.
There better be. Let's kill her.
You can't do that. You shouldn't do that.
Let's murder that girl. You're right.
And, I mean,
Have you guys called Domino's and called that guy a yet? No, let me get that number for you. Sorry. Domino's Durango. I got you guys.
what happened to Hannah, of course, was much worse than what happened with me. I'm not even comparing this. But, again, it's the same type of thing. And,
This guy is crazy. Look at this fat fuck. Gino, I should have known when I saw his gut. He can't control himself, and he can't handle the world around him.
that's really just it.
This is a weak man right here. We don't want him on our side. When the war comes, this guy's a raft.
I was not a fit for AEW. I just felt like it was a very
What are you a fit for?
different kind of place and
Look at the nipple over here. Look at that. Oh,
very
God.
stressful.
So he has to look at his own body. Can you believe that? His wife, he apparently has a wife, but this guy, forget his wife. He needs to take a shower and wash it. He needs to brush his teeth and see it in the mirror. He can't escape that fucking thing.
So many people,
God, it must fuck with your head, huh?
so many, just
Oh,
like
God.
there was so much chaos.
They reinforced the chair here.
And
Look at this.
It
They
just
reinforced the
really
chair.
stressed me out a lot.
Well,
So I was much happier. I was much happier in New Japan, except for the flights and the travel.
to book
Oh,
it.
you can't take the grind?
Your statement. I heard something from Frankie Kazarian. Yes.
Oh, that's where we turn this off. Once Frankie Kazarian comes up, Gino, we're in too deep, right? Also, Kevin Kelly went after AEW again. He's talking about Tony Khan and how he's not a real leader. And it's interesting. Like the Tony Schiavones and the people being paid by Tony Khan still support him. The people not being paid anymore don't support him. Weird how the money seems to dictate where the opinions lie. So Kevin Kelly said, the inmates are running the asylum. Or excuse me, quote, the inmates running the asylum, for me, is, and it could have been when Frankie was there. Our paths didn't cross there. We were great friends. But maybe it was during his tenure. So he's talking about Frankie Kazarian. And remember, Kazarian left AEW to go to TNA. And his first promo in TNA was like, I'm going to bet on me. In AEW, I was lost in the shuffle. So it was he's echoing that, Kevin Kelly says. While I was there, it was a lot of hurry up and wait for Tony Khan to make a decision. Because every decision went through him. Well, that sounds like a leader. That sounds like Vince McMahon. He said, picking out the color of the paint on the wall. You know what I mean, said Kelly. He has good people. He has tons of good people involved. Why couldn't he delegate more? Because you have to ask him, and that doesn't sound bad. Gino, don't you want there to be a one-stop shop for the end of the line? Don't you want one voice to be the voice? And all the criticism about Tony Khan is that he's not a leader, but Kevin Kelly just painted him as one.
You paint him as a leader, but this leader wants every attention to detail, which you should have. But at the same time, you could delegate people, be like, okay, like say to them, ahead of time. Besides, like, if because day of, that's last minute shit, last minute changes he wants to have done because he doesn't plan anymore. Because after that 5-year plan, after the 5 years have up, he now is like, okay, change everything. Everything needs changed now because we now have 3 shows that I was not prepared for because I thought Dark was going to do so well that we could have all this stuff pre-taped. Now I have to do all these other things to make things look different. We need everything to be different. I have to do it all because no one else has my vision, because no one else knows, because I don't plan anything out anymore. It just is the day of it and it happens.
No, Gino, they're all on the 4th floor having an after party, okay? Everything's planned out. Everyone's celebrating. It's all fun. You don't like morale? You don't like high morale? Obviously, a guy like this who couldn't cut it has low morale. Don't let him dictate your opinion. Equitas sent $5 and said, Tony Khan owes me money. Cody Rhodes owes me money. And Equitas said, I helped start at AEW and he betrayed me. That's so true. Gino, when is Equitas going to get his $1 million?
I don't know when any of us are going to get any of our money back from Tony Khan and us being supportive of his amazing company at the start, because it has changed ever since. It's just so sad because, like, he's talking about, like, how things have changed. Everything's changed, but because of Frankie, like, around the time of Frankie. And I even showed you when, again, even though it's mainly Cody talking about it and, like, him being the man who set up the deals, the whole fucking macro and him talking about like how they set this up during COVID, like hearing like how Tony Khan was there is a lot different than what we hear about what Tony Khan does now. And it was a very interesting insight of like how the years have changed this man to go more insane and becoming like Vince.
Now look, we have people piling on against AEW because forget AEW, it's so chaotic, right? Like Ethan Page said. You get to show up and do your own promo. Oh, damn. You can come up with your own spots. You can do a pile driver. What a shithole. And Kevin Kelly said, the one spot AEW is yet to fill is the one Cody Rhodes held down. Now, this might be true, though. He wasn't just the top guy, says Kevin Kelly. Well, he wasn't the top guy. Come on. But he was the face of the company. The goodwill ambassador. So none of this, what he's about to say is true, but none of this so far is true. Cody wasn't the face of anything, but he was like backstage very important. So he wasn't the outward face or anything. We had MJF for that. But backstage, look, ticket issue, question mark, special request, Cody took care of it. See, faces of companies don't do that. That's people in the back that are helpful. He said, talent comes and goes, but replacing Cody means so much more. So, Gino, when you have a ticket issue, who are you going to text now?
That's the problem. The only person you can text is Tony Khan, but he only answers like a few times, and he'll block your number or avoid you because he doesn't want to go with any confrontation. So you have to go to the AEW disciplinary committee, then talk about why Tony Khan has not answered any of your questions.
Look, one guy says like he knows. Who is this guy? Annoying leftist. Oh, I want to read his tweets. Swerve and Willow have been stepping into that. Really? Ticket issue? No, that's 3XL shirt issue. Talk to Willow. She'll stretch that thing right out. She's not going to help you with anything. Some bum on a Tier 1 contract? That's not going to replace Cody. I don't think this Vincey guy that tweeted this even knows what the tweet meant. So, or knows what Kevin Kelly meant. Swerve and Willow have been stepping into that position. No. Ospreay, too. Yeah, I'm sure Ospreay has. Ospreay seems like the guy who's gung-ho and full company, whereas other people just want to show up and ruin what we loved. Kevin Kelly says, yes, I agree. Good job, Kevin, like he knows. One guy said, hey, Kevin Kelly, it's always been my theory that Cody was very much a glue guy in the locker. Oh, who cares? Kevin Kelly. What a Nazi. This guy's a Nazi, Gino. He wants to save trafficked children. We hate him, huh?
We hate that he likes that Dinesh D'Souza guy. No one likes that fucking director who made that shit movie about Obama, then try to make the Hillary America film that nobody fucking watched, and then this fucking child trafficking, because he's like, okay, I can't talk about politics. That's not doing me too well. So if I go to fucking child trafficking, maybe people are actually gonna fucking like my movies.
Gino, you think the guy who did 2,000 Mules did the child trafficking movie?
Well, wasn't he the same guy? Or was 2000 was like the other one? Trying to like, I know Dinesh D'Souza was like getting in that same group of the Q people that everyone fucking talked about.
Okay, the guy from Ring of Honor that got Kevin Kelly fired. I don't even know his name. Jeez. So now we're all Nazis because we like the movie that doesn't want kids trafficked and it's not by Dinesh D'Souza?
It's still a questionable situation why we have to have that be a focus point. You could just find your own groups and find the right people to talk to about the issues.
What focus point? What issues? We apparently we're not allowed to. You know, Gino, it's your side that politicizes everything, not us. Like, it's great. Kevin Nash will tweet out, man, just get the vaccine. Why does it have to be political? It's like, no, because your political side is mandating it and forcing it on us, and it doesn't work, and you think it does, and we know it doesn't. Like, so we're just not getting tricked. It's not a political crusade from us. We're resisting yours. So the idea that they try to put it on us, and then the whole like, oh, then they have the Russia thing, and they act like we're politicized. You are. You made all that up. The Russia gate, the vaccine, it was all a big fake lie to kill people and get your way and keep your power, a political power, and we're just political victims, if anything. We're not politicizing any vaccine. We're not politicizing Russia. You are, Gino.
And, I'm starting to realize that because of, again, with my close personal friend that sadly has been drafted in Israel, makes me realize, we have been doing too much politicizing, making politics the focus point. We should be caring more about the individual and us as humans.
Right. So when kids are being trafficked, why don't you care about that instead of politicizing it and making it about Q or whatever, like your side is doing? We're just the side that wants kids safe, like Ryan Garcia. And then you guys are like, you're banned from the WBC. We want to fuck kids. Fuck the right wing because they want to save kids. You bring up the politics. We just want kids safe.
And I just want human beings safe. So I think everybody needs to just love everybody and not worry about again, wars. Stop going into wars. Stop fucking funding wars and just save people, not just kids. Everybody needs to be saved.
No, kids need to be saved. Adults take care of themselves. That's what your side needs to. That's what your side needs to learn as well. Adults aren't kids. Stop treating us like them. We're going to save the kids and leave the fucking adults alone. I can do it myself.
But then if you see that everyone can do it themselves, then they'll think their way is right, which then could lead to a war. And that's the problem, is that we need to stop having even the possibility of a war happening.
Give me an example of what you just said, because I can't picture it in real life.
People in Israel believe that they're doing their right things. Then people in Gaza think they're doing the right thing. They start a war because the other side thinks they're right and the other side thinks they're wrong.
You have no idea how evil both sides truly are. Stop even thinking about it. We're the side that's going to beat them both. So one thing's for sure, Tony Khan's inbred. Look at that guy. He's like a towelhead-looking guy with curly hair. That guy's so inbred. And his mom once had 7 or 8 strokes in a week. So don't forget that. Now, Kevin Kelly should be tweeting that. Instead, he's tweeting about Cody Rhodes.